Well, if you want your pack to go from your pocket to the peak and back again, this Mystery Ranch In and Out 22 liter might just be the pack you're looking for. And in today's video, we're gonna be breaking down this pack that I've been using now almost exclusively for not only my EDC backpack, but also my quick day hiking pack for about 6 months. I got this in the fall of 2021 and now it's mid-June in 2022. And I've used this all the way from the coast of Texas all the way up, and now we're in rural Pennsylvania and everywhere in between. Gotten lots of hikes, lots of just running around towns, and really gotten a good feel for what the pack has to offer. There's some awesome aspects to it, and there's some definite limitations that I'm gonna break down with you guys today and show you what this structureless pack from Mystery Ranch has going on. But before we go any further in the video, I want to give a big shout out to today's sponsor, which is Babbel Language Learning Software. With summertime here and travel season in full swing, now is an excellent time to start either learning a new language or brushing up on a language that you've learned in the past. For me, I need to brush up on my German, which I took in high school, and I have a very rudimentary understanding, but it's been years since I've really used it, and I wanted to get a little more fluent since my wife and I are talking about visiting Europe in the next few years, and she knows French, and I figured if I was a little bit more fluent in German, then it would be a perfect match for some of the countries we want to visit. And what I really like about Babbel is that it teaches you real-world practical conversations that you can use in your relationships, in travel, as well as in business. And as a busy dad who's taking his family across the country in an RV and running a full-time business, time is not on my side. And what I love is that these are broken down into short 10-minute interactive lessons.
Willkommen in Berlin.
Danke.
Willkommen in Berlin. Montag.
Dienstag.
Dienstag.
And it makes it real easy to go from your computer and then transition into the Babbel app and be able to continue learning that language on the go.
Mittwoch.
Freitag.
And Babbel's not going to pigeonhole you in one particular way of having to learn that new language. They offer games, podcasts, as well as live teaching classes with top teachers. When I'm trying out something new, I love knowing that the company backs what they are offering, and Babbel offers a 20-day money-back guarantee. So I invite you to check out that link in the description box below where you can get up to 65% off your subscription to Babbel and start learning a new language today. And with that, let's go ahead and get back to it. First off is it has a nice large mesh water bottle pocket that's on the outside. This is a 48-ounce Nalgene. You can see it goes up 3/4 of the way almost. Has a really large, thick elastic band that kind of holds it nice and snug, and heavy duty mesh. That's only going to be on one side. The other side is barren. Now, it would have been nice to have a little pull tab or something because it is a little bit difficult to shove this guy down in there, but your larger water bottles will easily fit in there. Something to note with the design of the bag, since there is no frame, there is no structure, is if you have a large water bottle like that, you're just gonna have to kind of offset the other side with maybe your trekking poles, a tripod, or just your gear in general. And ultimately, it's best suited for hydration with a water bladder. And it does have a hydration port on one side, the left side, and the sleeve that is internal will handle most 70-ounce water hydration systems. That bleeds right into having compression straps. Most structureless or ultralight day packs like this, they don't come with compression straps, or maybe one on the upper portion. This has two, top and bottom, so you can really slim this down if you don't have a lot of gear in there, or really expand it if you have quite a bit of bulky stuff in there, really adding to the versatility, but also adding to the lashing points. And since we're on the topic of lashing, yes, it does have a shock cord attachment and a secondary loop for your trekking poles, or in my case, a monopod. Another key attribute that I really like in the design are the organization. This guy has not only the main dump pocket with the hydration sleeve, but two exterior pockets so you can better organize gear that you need quick access to. In this case, this is the pocket that you can then stuff it into if you want to transport it that way, with a large zipper. And that has my organizer with my mini survival kit in there, and that has quite a bit of space. And then up top is a slightly smaller pocket that carries my IFAK, or individual first aid system. Now, another key feature is that this has A-flex clips for not only a flap, That helps fight against rain or moisture, but you could also roll up maybe like a raincoat and stuff on top and keep wet items outside of the bag, not ruining, getting the whole inside damp. But then you do still have your pull string top. Now comes to the harness, the ride. How does it really feel when you're carrying gear and equipment? And I'm usually carrying about 10 to 15 pounds inside this when I am trekking. And I know that sounds like a lot, but that's because I'm carrying not only about 6 pounds of camera gear, water, plus my survival kit and med kit. Before you know it, you're looking at about like 11 to 12 on average, and sometimes up to 15 depending on what I'm shooting. So it's definitely held up to that through these last 6 months, and I'm very pleased with that. Now, the thing to note is you got this nice grab handle right here, hang handle, really built well, sewn in well. Then you're gonna get your nice straps. These are breathable mesh with seaming on either side. Pretty dense. I mean, there's no foam or anything, but for a lightweight pack, they're a little bit denser than what you might get. And then you have these runners that add to the support on either side of those, as well as a removable sternum strap that you can get, for me being 6'2" and about 215 pounds, I can get it right about where I like it on the lower part of my sternum. You can ride it up obviously a lot higher or completely remove it if you're just kind of using it from a point A to point B type of system, which I really appreciate. I'm glad that it's removable if necessary, and then fully adjustable. Again, it can easily fit on me. I've never felt like it was too small, even though it is a pretty compact pack. Now, because it's structureless, that means that if you put any bulky kind of sharp angled items inside the bag in the main compartment, you're gonna feel it unless you have a hydration pack. The hydration pack kind of acts as an extra support as well, and just a little bit of structure and giving you a barrier between the gear inside the bag and your back. So that's a little bit of a bonus, but also one of the downfalls. If you're not using it with a hydration system, it can tend to sag, kind of everything fall to the bottom unless you really work those compression straps well. And it's kind of a balancing act depending on the type of equipment and gear. Loose kind of puffy stuff, say like a fleece and a raincoat, and maybe a flexible, meal pail for your meal on that day hike, that'll work just fine. But when you start putting kind of sharp angled stuff in there, it just starts to rub and kind of be raw and not work well, particularly if you don't have the hydration pack in there giving you that barrier. Now, another aspect is the price. Guys, I paid $90 for this backpack. I know, you're like, what is wrong with you? What have you been smoking? I just wanted to see what it could do. I have always had a structureless pack in my rotation, but for $90, I can easily list 10 different brands that are going to be 22 liters or bigger even, that are going to have full structured, waist belts, that are going to have a lot bigger, denser yokes, and be able to just hold more weight for longer distances without fatiguing or giving you all kind of the baggy sagginess of what a structureless pack in general offers to you. Now, something to consider as well, if you want to save a little bit more, you like the idea, but maybe you want something even a little bit more compact, there is the 19 liter in and out that you could also look at. That's a little bit cheaper and a little bit smaller. So ultimately, who the heck is this pack for, and what are the scenarios that actually make sense to drop almost $100 on a structureless 22 liter backpack? Well, I believe it's threefold. Ultimately, if you are traveling and you want that secondary day pack to go with you, you can stuff it easily away in your carry-on and then bust it out when you get to your location and go on some sweet adventures and have a dedicated day pack, and you have all the extra accessories, quality, and organization that most other structureless packs just aren't going to give you. Number two, it's the day hiker who doesn't want all the extra weight that structure, frame, and hip belts give you, because you are able to slim down your loadout to be very lightweight. And so you need something that's just very compact, well built, but very light, so that you can go miles and miles and not worry about the weight on your back because you don't carry that much stuff with you. And number three, those of you who, like myself, when you go out into the outdoors and you do multi-day backpacking trips, you often go to a location, you set up camp and then you want to hit different peaks, different trails, and you're kind of using a home base location, but you don't want your big giant 65, 70 liter backpack as your day pack as well, but you want something that will still hold quite a bit of gear if necessary, if you're in remote locations like I often do, in the Snowy River Range, the Wind River Range, the Rocky Mountains, you know, and you need some good quality materials and gear to go with you. You don't want basically just a glorified grocery bag, and you need something a little bit more to do those quick day hikes and exploratory adventures. This also does make a lot of sense. Well guys, there you have it. I hope that I've answered most of the questions that you might have been curious about with this In-N-Out 22. And if there's anything that I missed, feel free to leave a comment below and I'll do my best to answer it for you. And you know, there are definitely some epic capabilities in this bag, but there are definitely some epic limitations to the layout and design, as well as even price to what else is on the market. And so you guys will ultimately have to determine what I've shown you today. Does it make sense? Does it not? I encourage you to check out the other video popping up. Subscribe if you're not yet a subscriber, throwing up content like this every single week. And until next time, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and I'll see you out there.